Hello everyone, welcome to my class. This is your teacher Sandra, and today we are going to study Unit 11, Technology. For this reason, we are going to practice the most important contents related to this. Go ahead. In the grammar section, we will study present perfect, real conditional, plus when, and giving opinions. In the vocabulary part, we will study communication, feelings, and internet terms. In reading section, we will read an article about social media and read about wasting time. In the listening comprehension, we will listen to people talking about how do they keep in touch, listen to a discussion about the internet, and watch an extract from a documentary about giving up television. In the speaking part, we will talk about things you've done and would like to do, talk about future consequences, and give your opinions. Talk about technology you couldn't live without. And the last part, writing, we will improve our views of pronouns and write a web comment about technology. For this reason, I want to tell you what is an easy definition of technology. Technology means a study and knowledge of a practical, especially industrial use of scientific discoveries. And the English level of this word is B1. I want you to practice and share with you a nice quote that I found about technology. Technology by itself doesn't make leaders. Technology only amplified true leadership. As you can see in the picture, it was said by Steve Jobs. Now, in exercise about communication, we are going to ask and answer the questions in the quiz. How often do you and your partner do these things? If you do it, you write O for often, S for sometimes, N for never. And in this case, we are going to practice with yourself. How often do you use your mobile or phone? How often do you write a blog? How often do you use a video sharing site? How often do you check your email? How often do you send an SMS or text message? How often do you chat online? How often do you update your web page? How often do you Skype someone? How often do you follow a blog? How often do you share links? How often do you post messages? And how often do you use social networking sites or social media? Now in this part, we are going to listen to four people talking about how do they keep in touch. Match each speaker to describe a communication in exercise 1. If you want to see the transcription of this audio, please go on page 175 of your books and listen in carefully.
Unit 11. Technology. Recording S11.1.
1.
I use my phone for everything. I text most of the time because it's quick and cheap. So I text my friends and my boyfriend. I like texts because they're quiet. Nobody knows what you're saying. My mom used to call me all the time to check that I'm okay, but now she can text me, which is much better. I get really annoyed when you're talking to someone, though, and they're texting someone else. I think that's really rude.
2.
I use the internet a lot. I use Skype to keep in touch with my family because my daughter lives in France, so I don't see her very often. And the phone is expensive. With the internet, I can see my grandchildren. It's wonderful. My son sets up the computer for me. I haven't learned how to do that yet. And sometimes it crashes during the phone call, which is annoying, or I can't see the picture properly. But usually it's fine. Generally, I think technology is wonderful. When I was younger, we only dreamed of having video phone calls, but now it's possible, and it's free.
3.
We use a blog. It's a great way to tell people about your travel experiences. We've been to so many places already, and it's nice to tell people about them. And you can put photos there of the people you meet and the places you visit. The best thing is that as soon as you write the blog, people all over the world can read it. The only problem we have is when we can't find an internet cafe.
4. I've just started to use social media sites like Facebook. I found some friends I haven't seen for years, and it was great to get in touch again. The only problem is that I keep checking it when I should be working.
All right, according to these four conversations, we're going to develop what was the speaker of type of communication did everyone. Number one, phone. They talked about phone. Number two, the internet. Number three, blog. And number four, social media. According to this audio, what benefits of the communication technologies do the speakers mention? What negative points? What do you think? And in part C, do you agree with these other students? Number one, I get really annoyed when you're talking to someone and they're texting to someone else. I think that's really rude. Number two, generally, I think technology is wonderful. And number three, the only problem with social networking sites like Facebook is that I keep checking it when I should be working. So I think it is interesting when you see how often do you use the internet or the communication. Now in the next part, we are going to study and review present perfect with just, yet, and already. When we use present perfect, remember we use present perfect to talk about general experiences in life. It is common to use present perfect with just, yes, and already. When do we use just? We use just to talk about something which happened very recently. Example, I just passed my driving test. We just go back from holiday and we need to put just before the main verb. When we use yet in negative sentences in question to talk about something which hasn't happened but just expected to it. Put yet at the end of the sentence. Example, are you ready? No, we haven't finished yet. Have you booked a table yet? No, not yet. I'll call the restaurant in a minute. When do we use already? We use already to talk about something which happened, maybe before you expected, but put already before the main verb or at the end of the sentence. Example, I've already had 4 cups of coffee this morning. He's found a job already. When we use spoken grammar, it is really common to use not yet as a short response to a question. It means we expect to do something soon, but we have not done it. In the next part, we are going to practice exercises using the present perfect. In this case, you need to read from 1 to 3 and match them with the sentence from A to C. I haven't learned how to do it myself yet. It means we didn't think it was possible to travel so much, so you need to match 1 to 3 and A to C. Now in the next part, we are going to make sentences using the prompts and make sentences that are true for you. Now let's go. Remember, you always have an example in order to give you an idea what to do. So number one, I just bought a new car. Number two, I have not done any sport this week yet. Number three, my best friend has just had a baby. Number four, I have already had a holiday this year. Number five, I have not finished my studies yet. Number six, I have already seen a new James Bond film or movie. Number seven, I have just a new house. Number eight, I have already paid my English course. And in this part, please practice these exercises using just, yet, and already. In this exercise on page 109 and transcription on page 175, you will look at the cartoon and things to do list. What things has the woman already done and what hasn't she done yet? Call mom, check email, write blog post, upload photos, and text Jean and update weight. Remember, we have English, American English, and British English, and we can see some differences between this in the written part. So listen and practice.
Unit 11. Recording S11.2.
1,
I've been there already.
2,
I haven't met her yet.
3,
We've just seen a movie.
4,
They've already gone.
5,
We haven't finished yet.
6,
He's just spoken to her.
According to exercise C, they tell you to listen and write the sentences you hear. And in a part B, sentence stress, you need to listen again and repeat and pay attention to the rhythm of each sentence. Remember to see the time expressions used in present perfect tense. Now in this part, you need to work in pairs or look at the things in the box below and answer the questions. We have travel abroad, start an exercise program, write a regular blog, learn to play an instrument, learn to drive a car or motorbike, create my own web page. Which of these things have you done already? Which haven't you done yet but would like to do? And which have you done? In exercise B, you need to write a list of 5 things you want or need to do this week. In exercise C, the recommendation is to look at your partner list and ask questions to find out what he or she has done already and what he or she hasn't done yet. Example, I need to organize my holiday. Okay, have you already decided where to go? Yes, but I haven't booked the tickets yet. And in the last part, we have a speak out tip. For example, every month write a list of 5 things you want to do to improve your English. Example, watch a movie or watch a film in English, read an English newspaper, write an email, or check your list at the end of the month to see how many of these things have you done. This is very nice and important for you if you want to improve your English. Now in the next part, we have a pronounce. In this part, you need to read the travel block and match the words in bold to the things they refer to. In this case, we use an example. It's beautiful and busy. When we refer to it, in this case, is the place Izmir. Nils Block, August Izmir. I just arrived in Izmir. It's big, beautiful, and busy. The people are so friendly. I've only been here for 1 week and I made a lot of new friends already. Most of them are students too, and they new to Izmir. Our course hasn't started yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to share a flat, or in this case, you can say an apartment with another student I've met, and I haven't met him yet. But he sounds nice on the phone. The flat is near the city center and there are a lot of bars and restaurants near there. So it should be good for going out at night, more used in September. So in this case, the recommendation is to substitute the words in bold by the correct word. When we say it, we refer to its mirror. When we say our, we are referring to the course. When we say my new friends twice, we are saying they. When we say admit, we talk about admit twice. When we say my new friends and my, we are referring to them. And when we talk about the city center or downtown, we are using it. We use the pronouns in order to substitute or in order to avoid repeating the words more than twice. In this case, we are going to study the writing part. In this case, they recommend you to write the travel block and replace the underlined words like we, us, it, there, he, them, here, out, and more. In this case, we have a picture of a wonderful place and we have underlined the words that we are going to substitute. Alessia and I have finally arrived in Bucharest, and Alessia and I love Bucharest. We thought we should update you on Alessia's and my tour. Last month we were in Hungary. We had a really good time in Hungary. We met a man called George who was very friendly. George took us to some wonderful lakes and castles, and we really enjoyed the lakes. The other news is that we have decided to stay in Bucharest for at least 2 years. We think living in Bucharest will be a wonderful experience for Alessia and me. Remember that words that we have underlined means that you are going to substitute. When we refer to Alessia and I, we are talking about we. When we refer to Bucharest, we are talking about it. Alessia and I, my tour, we say our, we say okay, so this is important for you to substitute and pay attention. Now, remember, this is very important for you to practice, 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 and practice because practice makes perfect. For your attention, thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next class. Bye bye.